In the know.
Good evening, everyone.
In the know.
Tony Reeves, fire. Following the news in any way, shape, or form. No shortage of things to talk about. What does it mean? What will it bring? Is this a reality we simply have to accept? Tony Reeves, fire. Tony Reeves, let's go ahead and get
Welcome,
started.
everybody. Today is our last day talking about understanding your disability hearing notice. Day is kind of simple. It's an 827. Now, you're probably saying, what the hell is an 827? It's a medical release form. It's a form that Social Security needs you to sign and in some instances witness in order for them to be able to request any medical records on your behalf. Trust me when I tell you, when you get this form, you really need to make a point to sign it, date it, and send it back. Social Security may need this information in the event they need to request something on your behalf, so you don't want to mess around and just get that form and just file 13 it. So when you get that form from Social Security Administration, okay, and it's, like I said, it's called it's the Social Security Form 827. There's going to probably be a portion where they probably have you sign it. Don't fill up the portion at the top in terms of the names of the doctor because you don't have a clue. You don't know who they're going to send this to. So you want to make sure you sign it, date it, and return it. And when we come back after this break, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about why this is so important.
Under the Social Security regulations, representatives are permitted to practice before the administrative agency anywhere in the country, which means that when you're looking for a representative, you can find someone who doesn't necessarily have to be in your state if you're just going before the administrative agency. So it's possible to have an attorney or representative who's from Utah, even though you may be in Georgia. And our office is actually no different. So if you're wondering which states we cover, check this out. Now, the tricky part is once you have to sue the Social Security Administration. Under that situation, you want to have an attorney that's representing you in your jurisdiction. So if you have a representative who's in another state and you've gone all the way to the Appeals Council and you've been denied and you want to sue the Social Security Administration, you make sure you ask that representative whether or not they can sue someone in that particular state.
Thanks for joining us back here. We're going to talking a little bit more about 827s. Let me tell you something. If, let's say, for instance, you need some help with getting records from your provider. Let's say you're asking for the judge or asking Social Security to get those records for you. An 827 is the release form that basically gives the Social Security permission to get the medical release from your provider, meaning the provider is going to want to release. This is the Social Security's release. This is a release that they can use to get your medical records. Trust me when I tell you, you want them to have this because if you find yourself in a position where you need assistance getting copies of your medical records, by all means, you want to make sure that they have a copy of this form because this form is necessary and useful for them in getting copies of your medical records. The sooner you get it back to them, the better, because you don't know at what point you may need their assistance, and you don't want the process being delayed because you had to fill out the form later and then rush it to them. So please, make a point, get it back to them as soon as possible. That concludes our series about step-by-step guide for understanding your disability hearing notice. We're going to start this thing rocking and rolling back on Monday, so I look forward to having you here. As always, this is Attorney Anthony Reeves, and this is your Social Security Q&A, Social Security Disability Today.
I want to thank all of you for engaging in the videos. Make sure you take the opportunity to send me any comments or send me any particular questions that you want me to have addressed here. As you know, this show is for you, and so the only way I can make sure that I can provide you some good information is if you provide me some good questions. Keep them coming, and right here on Q&A, Social Security Disability Today.